since we are in that beautiful month of November, and of course, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, I decided to do another sneaker profile remixes on some of those older profiles that I did regarding when it came to Thanksgiving related shoes or just the November vibe when it came to those shoes that I decided to put out in front of you. So we're gonna do a remix, and as you can see, I'm just relaxing at home. I'm relaxing in the FC Sneaker Factory, watching some football, watching my Niners do work. And as you can see, I'm basically giving you that whole Thanksgiving vibe because I am wearing that amazing concepts shirt when it came out to the Turdunken, right? They released this shirt to go with those shoes, so as usual, Mr. Wonderful picked it up, and you can see the concepts hit. You see the duck right there, basically swimming. This is in a nice navy blue, and I'm wearing at this time some nice AG shorts, beige shorts to be exact. So I'm keeping it casual because what I wanted to do is basically take some time out of my day since I'm watching some football and actually drop some content for your beautiful eyes. And of course, the fellas out there and those beautiful ladies, oh, that I call my cheerleaders. Let's go ahead and dab into the sneaker profile remixes when it came to those shoes that I released quite some time ago. So, as you can see, Mr. Wonderful is looking amazing as always. The hair, of course, the fit, I never let you down when it comes to that. So this first one that we're going to do a sneaker profile remix on, actually, let me rewind it. Let me reel you back in. Okay, so actually I did a Thanksgiving live. I actually did a Thanksgiving live. It was a live actually leading up to Thanksgiving that took place on November 11th, 2021. So it was one of those first lives that I was doing from way back then. That just shows you how, I guess, how young I am when it comes to YouTube, because it's my first lives actually took place in 2021. That was the first content that I ever dropped. And then after that, that's when I kind of moved away from lives when it came to like 2022 and started really just focusing on sneaker profiles and Floyd's pickup. So I've been around since 2021, and right now we're in 2023. So that first live that I did took place, or I should say that first Thanksgiving live took place back on November 11th of 2021. This profile, though, that I'm about to do a remix on actually took place on May 11th, 2022. And this was actually sneaker profile 16. So that was a long time ago, because now we're currently on what sneaker profile. I just wrapped that one up 255. So I mean, it's been a long time since we saw these shoes, but like I said, since we are heading towards Thanksgiving, I went ahead and go ahead and drop these profiles again for you, just to remind you of these amazing shoes, just to remind you of the concepts behind the shoes as well. And this first one, right, it just screams Thanksgiving, and I'm very happy that I got it, and I still have it in my collection. I probably won't let it ever leave, because one, it was one of those really limited, as far as in my case, that I have when it comes to like Thanksgiving, actually a Thanksgiving related shoe. So that's why I will keep this one in the collection. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the box, because this was Sneaker Profiles 16, one of the originals from back in the day. But it was an actual rainbow color box when I did a profile on. So let's take a look at that. Things haven't changed with this one, but that beautiful that tag right there, let's take a look at that tag. Nike SB Dunk High Pro QS with that price tag of $120. But we are looking at that Retin Barbecue Brown. Let's take a look at the inside of the box. Standard box. You got that black and white wood grain tissue paper. So nothing crazy. As we're probably all aware, right? You should already be aware of this. But this actually came in one of those limited edition boxes. I would have picked it. I mean, I could still pick it up for now, because it's actually, I was looking into that when I was doing the profiles, and they're still relatively pretty cheap when it comes to the resale market. It's just really big, so it's kind of like one of those boxes where it's just really big because it has a lot of stuff in there, but it's just really nothing where I'm like, I need to go back and purchase that. I have the shoe. The shoe is good enough for me. But what about you? Do you have that special limited box, or was that just an easy pass and you just went for the shoe? Or is this still a shoe that you still were not, or still did not obtain up until today? I feel like this is just a really good Thanksgiving dunk, or SB, I should say. Thanksgiving dunk SB. But I know a lot of people at the time weren't really feeling it. They weren't really happy with the shoe. This, obviously it's a high, so not too many people are really big on highs. They would really gravitate to the lows pretty much when I talk about SBs. But let's go ahead and go into this. Let's go ahead and go into the backstory of the shoe. Let me give you a better sneaker profile from what I did back in the day, because you know what? I was still green at that time. But you know what? I've developed my skill when it comes to talking in front of the camera, because that's just how Mr. Wonderful finally developed. And of course, but I still have all the fucking great shoes in my collection. Now let's take a look at this one. Sneaker profiles from back in the day. A sneaker profile remix with profile 16 right here. So this shoe right here is known as the Nike Dunk SB Turdunken. And this is a collaboration with Concepts. And in case you're wondering, well, what's Concepts? So basically, Concepts is a sneaker boutique, right, or a streetwear boutique. But the origin of Concepts is actually in Boston. It's off of 18 Newbury Street in Boston, Massachusetts. And I have visited that location before when I visited Boston a few years ago. So great. I mean, I love Boston. I can't wait to go back. I definitely need to go back, and maybe just depending on when I go back, maybe catch a Celtics game, catch a Boston Red Sox game, or maybe a Bruins game. But definitely got to work my way back up towards the East Coast. Beautiful shoe though. I still love this shoe. This is a shoe. I know you're gonna be shocked, but this is a shoe that Mr. Wonderful has worn to this date. So and I typically bring this out in the month of November. Just a great shoe to wear. But let's take a closer look at this. So you may be asking yourself, Mr. Wonderful, well, what is a Turdunken? Well, Turdunken is actually a dish consisting of deboned chicken stuffed into a deboned duck, further stuffed into a turkey. So that's where this originates from. It's just a whole bunch of, a chicken stuffed in a duck stuffed in a turkey. And if you're aware, I mean, a lot of people don't cook the traditional turkey around Thanksgiving. They do go towards the duck. So I mean, that just gives you a little bit more of not a history, but more of a theme when it comes to Thanksgiving. But this shoe right here, this shoe was actually released back on November 14th, 2020. So can you believe that? It's already been 3 years since this shoe has been released. But let's go ahead and go into those beautiful details that only Mr. Wonderful can give you. And then let's see if maybe you have actually purchased this shoe. You could drop a comment down below. I would like to know. But here we go. This right here, I love this. Beautiful, nice suede toe when it comes to the toe box. This is a shoe that actually has a lot of different materials going on. But right here on the side panel, as well as on the toe box, is a nice, kind of like it is a brownish in color, but it's just a nice different type of material that you typically do not get when it comes to any type of shoe, right? A SB or just a regular Nike, I rarely ever see this material on the shoe. But this material actually runs, it is brown, but actually runs from the lower toe box to the side, a portion of the lateral side on the side panel, but also runs through the shoelaces as well. Right here, this beautiful side panel here, it actually is it kind of gives you that duck material feel. Beautiful though right here. I love that feel though. Gorgeous. It is actually in a nice light beige color. This right here, it is a blue, but it does give that kind of like that iridescent vibes when it comes to, like, if you're staring at a duck. A duck actually does give off some iridescent colors. Right here is another nice material, but it is actually really soft when compared to this material. but it does give that more of that duck feel to the shoe right here, and it actually goes towards the rear part of the shoe. Up top is a nice, beautiful, like a, I want to say like a charcoal color collar, but it does have that nice suede, and you can see the strokes going on with that. Right here, the midsole is a nice light peach color, and then below that is the outsole is a nice little bit darker peach color. So great tones used on this shoe. Let's take a look at the rear part. So the rear part, you'll actually see a little bit of difference. So that duck material still traveling through the rear part. You still have that nice light peach color midsole, but then you also see that nice darker colored peach on the outsole. This nice leather, or not leather, but I should say suede, still travels through the rear part, and you can definitely see all the brush strokes as you can see on my finger. This is actually a nice brown leather tab right here. Nice though, it is actually kind of, it is in that, I want to say also suede material. But you see the transition though, right? You see the lateral swoosh in blue, but then you see that transitioning into that green medial swoosh. And let's take a look at the medial side. Medial side is still look exactly the same as your lateral side, except you do have that nice green iridescent swoosh on the medial side. But it still continues on with that nice duck material right here. I love this material. Great material, very soft with touch. Still transitioning also to from the rear part to the medial side is that beautiful black suede material on the collar. And then of course on that side panel, you do have that duck material. I want to say it's more of you can actually feel it more on the medial side when compared to the lateral side. The lateral side it's more actually I should say like more taped down when compared to the medial side. The medial side you can actually lift it up a lot more. But you also still have the nice continuation right here when it comes to this rougher type material, a material that I really never feel on any of my shoes, or it's never ever put. So that runs through the shoelaces, also going towards the toe box. But also right here, you do see that hit at the very top because this actually is separated from this nice duck material collar portion. Let's take a look at the front part. The front part is gorgeous, right? Beautiful shoe. Look at that nice iridescent tongue. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's take a look at the right there, the outsole, right? The outsole is just a majority of that dark peach color, except for the middle portion. You see that nice light beige color when it comes to the Nike, the swoosh, and the SB right there. Gorgeous. I love it. Very nice. All right, now my favorite part, obviously, the aerial view of the shoe. Let's take a look at that. So look at that aerial view. Beautiful, right? You have that nice, beautiful suede in that nice light brown color, but it does cut off right there, and then it continue, and then you got that whole transition of that iridescent tongue, and that is actually in a nice leather, but it does, you could see the green when it comes to that iridescent. I love that, but it also, you can see kind of like a little purplish tint to it, so that's a pretty cool. As you can see on that tag, I'm going to get a little closer up look at that. You see the Nike, the swoosh, and the SB right there. And I'm trying to capture, and yeah, you could barely see it. It's kind of hard to focus, but it says Dunk, or there you go, Duck High Pro. So normally you would get the Dunk High Pro. In this shoe, you get the Duck High Pro. Inside of the shoe, I love it. Leather collar, but you do have that like mallard type insole, as well as the collar going on with the trees. You see the ducks flying. You see the Nike SB, the Zoom Air in there in black. But just a lot of gorgeous touch when it comes to the shoe. I'm surprised this shoe doesn't get as much love as it deserves, because this is definitely a nice collaboration. A lot of great materials, a lot of great details when it comes to this specific shoe. I mean, definitely gives the duck vibes. A lot of duck references when it comes to this one. Gorgeous shoe though. I'm glad that I actually had it. I don't remember when I picked it up. I don't remember how much I spent on this shoe, but I'm like I said though, I'm very glad that I actually purchased this one and have it in the collection. Like I mentioned, it's one of those shoes that I probably will never get rid of because one, it doesn't. I mean, I could go actually go buy a new one, and it's really not that much money. But it's just one of those shoes that I feel like when it comes to November, it's definitely one of those shoes. It's like a must wear during the month of November. If you want to wear it on Thanksgiving, perfect. If you just want to wear it throughout the month of November, perfect. It doesn't matter. But you'll definitely get a lot of looks because this is a shoe I really rarely see anybody wearing, and I'm not sure why. Just a quick heads up though on this. As you can see, the back of the tongue, it is in, you do have that nice yellow portion hit when it comes to the tongue, but you do have the concepts hit right or symbol, and then the concept sits just below that on the tongue. So very cool touch on that. Forgot to mention that. But what do you think? Why do you think this was such a miss when it came to the collaboration, when it comes to the resale market? Do you think it was a miss because it's a high? Not too many people, mess with highs, or do you think it's a miss just because of there's just too much going on when it comes to the shoe? Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Because you know what? We have just wrapped up Sneaker Profile Remix on the Nike Dunk SB Turdunken. To me, a great shoe right there. But you let me know if you have that shoe in your collection. I would like to know that. As you can see, the shirt and the shoe match perfectly, goes perfectly well together. I'm glad that I'm able to wear this for this specific Sneaker Profile Remix when it comes to Thanksgiving theme, Thanksgiving, or I should say November colorway shoes in the FC Sneaker Factory. I appreciate you for tuning in as always. The beautiful people out there, I hope you're having a blessed November, especially as we're leading towards that beautiful, that peaceful Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully it's peaceful in your household. I know it's in mine. But I appreciate you for stopping by. And when it comes to the FC Sneaker Factory, I'm always wishing you, when it comes to any holiday, but specifically the month of November, a happy Thanksgiving. And just like how all those beautiful women tell me, right? They either whisper in my ear or say it out loud, but I'm always hearing it consistently. Mr. Wonderful Floyd, you are too damn